to congratulate Motown Boxing. Last week, one of their fighters placed fourth in the Michigan Golden Glove tournament and moved on now to the national tournament and will be there this whole week. The young man fought last night and beat the number 4th ranked fighter in the country, and we hope that he'll bring home the Golden Glove trophy to the city of Warren. So congratulations, Motown Boxing and Jacob. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Any other comments from council members? I have a few I'll be quick in these announcements. The Warren Symphony is hosting their wine tasting at Champagne's Wine Cellar on Chicago Road between Mound and Van Dyke. That's Thursday, May 19th from 6 to 8 p.m. Tickets are $25 a piece. If you're interested, please call 586-754-2950. Another event coming up Sunday, May 1st, starting at 11 a.m. The Warren Historical Commission will be looking for help in their Warren Union Cemetery spring cleanup. That is on Chicago Road between Ryan and Mound. They ask that you bring your own work gloves, rakes, clippers, lightweight tarps, and be sure to wear protective clothing. On a sad note, Michigan lost 2 soldiers over the weekend, and I think it would be proper to recognize a moment of silence for Marine Lance Corporal Dominic Ceramatiro, who is 19 years old. He was from South Lyon, as well as Marine Sergeant David Day, who also passed away this past Saturday. He was from Gaylord and was 26 years old. So a moment of silence for the soldiers killed in active duty. Thank you. I'd also just like to extend our sympathies and, thanks to those that serve and sympathies to the family. And one last note, certainly not least, and unfortunately a sad note as well. Kalamazoo police officer Eric Zapata was killed in the line of duty. He was a 10-year veteran, and he will be laid to rest tomorrow. So I'd like to acknowledge a moment of silence for the slain officer Eric Zapata. Thank you. Go to the next agenda item.
Item number 10, a public hearing, appeal of determination of nuisance at 7051 Hudson, vacant, dilapidated one-story house with additions, crawl space and slab, porch and miscellaneous debris, and consideration and adoption of a resolution.
Item number 10 is a public hearing. Anyone that would like to address this agenda item may do so at this time. Good evening.
Good evening, Council. Stephanie Kamakowski on behalf of Wells Fargo, the property owner of 7051 Hudson Avenue in Warren, Michigan. I have been in contact with my clients, and as of the 22nd, it has come to my attention that they are working on a sale of this property to an individual, and so I would ask the council to table this matter for approximately 2 weeks to see what exactly comes of this. I'm not too familiar with the details regarding the potential sale. It's just come about in the last few days.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else care to address agenda item number 10 before we close the public hearing?
Good evening, Council.
Good evening.
Dean James. I understand that Stephanie is representing Wells Fargo. Yeah, I thought you had said Trot and Trot. I think we've established that the house is unfixable and that what she is looking for is the possibility of the owner or new owners to pay for the demolition. So I would propose that we proceed with the abatement of this if possible. And we will hold it for a certain period of time, and if they decide to demo it, we would let them demo it.
Okay, thank you.
Am I correct?
Yes.
I'm sorry, let me just finish the public hearing and then we'll ask you any questions. Anyone else care to address agenda item number 10? Seeing or hearing none, I'm going to close the public hearing and open this up for council action.
Motion to abate.
Support. Motion by Mr. Green, support by Ms. Vogt.
Discussion?
Mr. Green.
Thank you, Madam Chair. With what Mr. Dean said, is that what you're looking to do, is get someone to purchase it?
Yes. My only problem is that I can't speak to what exactly the potential buyer would want to do. I know that my client has moved forward with obtaining bids, and they are, but for this potential buyer, they were planning to demolish the property themselves.
Is this someone buying a block of property, in your opinion?
Unfortunately, I don't know. I would say no. I believe it is an individual, but I honestly
Reviewing
don't.
reviewing the file, it just does not seem repairable at all, and I think we should move forward with the abatement, and whichever entity decides to pay for it is fine with me. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Any other comments from council members?
Madam Chair,
Ms. Comartin.
just for the record, they have 60 days, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so you have 60 days, just to let you know that the new buyers still have 60 days to take it down themselves.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Any other comments from council members? Seeing or hearing none, I'll call the question. Mr. Green.
Yes.
Ms. Vogt.
Yes.
Mr. Warner.
Yes.
Mr. Stevens.
Yes.
Mr. Sadowski.
Yes.
Mr. Liss.
Yes.
Ms. Comartin.
Yes.
Mr. Barkamino.
Yes.
Candy, yes. The motion passed unanimously.
Item number 11, a public hearing, appeal of determination of nuisance at 24525 Industrial Highway Garage Only, and consideration and adoption of a resolution.
Item number 11 is a public hearing. Anyone that would like to address this agenda item may do so at this time. Good evening.
Good evening. My name is Mark Awada. I'm one of the property owners there. I'd like to inform this council that I never received any notice on this at all. Upon receiving the letter soliciting my participation here today from, I believe, the secretary of the council, which I thank Mr. Sadowski for sending me this notice, I would be unaware of this, as would my family, who are also property owners in this. I don't know which garage this is referring to. There are several addresses there. It's approximately just under 4 acres of land. There's a single-family home with 2 detached garages. I contacted my tenant after I received this letter. I actually got this on the 22nd. I contacted my old tenant, who indicated she had received notice of a prior hearing regarding the nuisance. If this is the older garage, within 60 days I can have it demoed myself, saving the city some money. You don't need to waste that, and it'll cost me a lot less to get it done than it would the city, quite frankly. If it is the garage that is directly adjacent to the home, I need some clarification, because I'd like an opportunity to fix it if something's wrong with it. I know several gutters need to be replaced, that I was waiting for the thaw to go in and do that. But other than that, that's a solid structure, the one that's directly adjacent to the home. But several parcels over, there are 6 continuous parcels on Industrial Highway, all of which are owned by my family. I'm one of the property owners there. Our names are on the title altogether. All of us have our address at Holmes Drive, is listed with the city. We get our tax bills there. The other property owners are my 2 children and my wife. So I was just shocked to get this, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to ask this question and to have, I believe you mentioned 60 days. That's more than enough time to demolish the other garage. But if it is the one adjacent to the home, I'd like clarification on that, because in which case I wouldn't go along with taking it down. I'd want an opportunity to fix it.
Okay. Anyone else care to address agenda item number 11?
Good evening again.
Good evening.
Yes, this is the garage that you can hardly see over there. Okay.
No problem.
And we're on the same page.
Yes.
Okay. That satisfies your...
Yeah, I'll have it removed in 60 days, if not.
I'm bigger problem.
Thank you.
Good, I'm glad we were able to clarify that.
I would have been shocked to see some city trucks there just taking it down.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here. Anyone else care to address agenda item number 11? Seeing or hearing none, I'm going to close the public hearing and open this up for council action.
Motion to abate with discussion.
Support.
Motion by Mr. Green, support by Mr. Stevens. Discussion, Mr. Green.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm looking at one page in the backup material. It says that certificate of forfeiture of real property dated March 1st, 2010 that this property is forfeited, so the person who was speaking at the public hearing, I don't know if they have standing.
Mr. Iwata?
Mr. Iwata, do you have a second so we can ask you a question, please? There's a document in our file that says on March 1st, 2010, the property in question was forfeited to the Macomb County Treasurer for back taxes.
No,
for 2000.
I've paid over $35,000 in back taxes earlier this year to remove those properties from forfeiture. The main home is subject to forfeiture again as of this coming year. It's not forfeited yet. Again, just on that one, those 4 parcels, I paid over $17,000 in taxes at the Macomb County Treasurer's Office. I additionally paid for a property located at 23242 Shaner Road, an additional $14,000 approximately. That was at the city and at the county level. So
And what address did you say that your mailing address should be?
Well, since this is televised, it's right on the envelope. The secretary has it. It's one that I just got mailed on the 21st. It's the Holmes Drive address without giving away the actual street number.
I just make sure that because there's several addresses in this file over the years, and I'd just be concerned that
There are several addresses on Industrial Highway.
we have to operate based on the last known address, and it's very difficult to find people sometimes. But regardless, I'll hold or continue with the motion to abate.
Any other discussion from council members?
I have some questions.
Mr. List.
Thank you, Madam President. Mr. Iwata, I'm taking a look at a nuisance abatement specifics for the City Council, and it identifies Mark and Penny Iwata as the owners.
Yes, and Allison and Adam Iwata as well.
Right, that's in some other documents here. This is dated 10/27/2010, and I understand it's televised, but this is also available online for anybody to see.
Well, this isn't my home address on here. This is the address of the property in question.
That's where it would have been sent to. That's on the tax rolls.
Now, on the tax rolls is something different. That is what the secretary sent the notification to. The actual address is contiguous to another address on Industrial Highway 24735, which is a prior residence of mine, whom I had a tenant staying at, who signed for the registered mail that was sent there earlier in the year. Like I said earlier, I called her to ask her if she got any notice of anything, because being at this level, I've dealt with the city before, because I own several rental properties in Warren. They send me a letter, I contact the inspector, I fix what's wrong, and I'm never before the council. This is my first time before the council as far as any of my properties are concerned.
Well, there were other...
This time something fell through, but I've already worked this out with, I forgot his name, and Mr. James and we understand this garage is going to be torn down. I'm going to tear it down if I don't have it torn down within the allotted time. You mentioned 60 days. The city is going to go in and take it down.
Council's not the first step in this process, so it's the end of the process.
That's what I'm trying to explain to you. I had no notice of the prior proceedings.
And I'm trying to dig through that.
Right. It was sent to the resident there at 24735. For some reason, it wasn't forwarded to my address for the tax roll.
I'm with you on that, okay?
Thank you, sir.
How much taxes do you still owe on that property?
Off the top of my head, I don't know. It should be around 11,000.
I'm showing 2009 taxes